Cricket presents The Campfire, and today we are taking a deep dive into District 9-6A. The schools in this 9-team district include Garland, Lakeview Centennial, Naaman Forest, Rowlett, Sachse, North Garland, South Garland, Wiley, and Wiley East. Let's analyze these teams in our film session. Wiley East shocked many by winning the district last year in their first season as a 6A team. The Raiders returned 13 starters, so expect them to contend for back-to-back championships. Two-way player Michael Henderson will be back as a junior after winning Defensive Newcomer of the Year honors last season. They will need to replace dynamic dual threat Terrell Washington at quarterback, but if they do, watch out for East. The Raiders' rival, Wiley, should be near the top of the district as well. Jagger Bale returns behind center, and Amo will have some playmakers on defense with Cam Draper and Brady Dalton. Naaman Forest has D'Angelo Perales and his almost 2,000 passing yards back in the fold. Perales will have his favorite targets Dylan Turner and Jason Flores back as well. Sachse is always looking good as a playoff contender, and this year is no different. Brendan George and Khalik Lockett make for a dangerous pitch-and-catch combination. Rowlett has probably the most experienced running back returning in Jermias Benson, so the Eagles could slide back into the postseason. North Garland lost their quarterback to McKinney and hope they can make noise due to experience at other positions. Lakeview Centennial has some options at receiver with Julius Spencer and Jonathan Whittle. Garland's defense will lead the way behind Zaylon Reynolds at defensive back. South Garland will hope to find the end zone a bit more as they search for district wins.
Switch to Cricket and get a free Moto G 5G with your new plan. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Do you or your student want a career training the world's best athletes? Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today. For an even deeper look at 9-6A, here's producer Ward Fasold and insider Matt Diggs with the district breakdown.
It's time for a little district breakdown. We are talking 9-6A. My guy Diggs is over there. We're going to talk some Wiley. We're going to talk some Garland. You know, it's just thinking about Wiley. Wiley kind of reminds me over the last couple of years of a lowercase version of Prosper, where you're not quite sure what to talk about Prosper, but they always do something in the playoffs. Wiley, I call a lowercase because we don't know what they're going to do in the district, but heck, they always end up making the playoffs. Last year, they went a couple rounds deep too. So talk about this district and talk about the Wiley teams first, because, you know, East went undefeated, and now Wiley, as I just hyped him up a little bit. Talk about those two guys.
Yeah, Wiley East and Wiley are two teams that are obviously, I think, are going to be at the top of the district. They love this setup. And a lot of the reason they like this setup is because when you look all around Wiley and some of the 6A, you see the Planos and Prospers and McKinneys and Allens, and these are all, you know, 3,000 to 6,000 student schools. You got Wiley East and Wiley over here who are kind of put with the Garland schools that are very similarly sized, and Wiley has a little bit of the advantage in being a little bit of a smaller district and having a little bit more focused and people really getting excited about them. Wiley East for me is the team to keep an eye on. I think we're having a healthy quarterback battle, and that's always a good thing. But the player to watch for Wiley East is Michael Henderson. This is a very special. Last year was a sophomore, had 2 pick sixes. He is going to be a player that he's going to take away half the field.
All right, Diggsy, hit me with the 1 through 9.
Got number 1, Wiley East. Number 2, Wiley. Number 3, Naaman Forest. 4, Sachse. 5, Rowlett. 6, the Owls from Garland. 7, North Garland. 8, Lakeview Centennial. And 9, South Garland.
There you have it. He told it right from the horse's mouth. All right, we're talking 10-6A next week, and we're going out to Rockwall and out to a little further east, Texas.
You hate going eastward, so hopefully you can put on your big boy pants and be here next week and have a good attitude.
I'll have a good
eyes on you, Ward.
I'll have a good attitude. I'm that guy. I'll see you next week, Diggsy.
See you next week.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers and our players on the rise, presented by Parker University. Naaman Forest's junior quarterback, D'Angelo Perales, is arguably the best returning signal caller in 9-6A. Perales threw for just under 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns as he was selected the Offensive Newcomer of the Year as a sophomore. With his many talented receivers back for 2023, expect the coach's son to have another solid season. Another promising junior is Lakeview Centennial wide receiver Julius Spencer. He caught 58 passes for 926 yards and 9 touchdowns as a sophomore. Spencer is a difficult matchup for DBs in the district as he shows good separation and the ability to go up and get those 50-50 balls. Julius has offers already from Texas State and Austin Peay, but expect more as his production continues to soar. As we continue to talk about juniors, we can't forget about Wiley East safety Michael Henderson. He was the district's Defensive Newcomer of the Year as he totaled 75 tackles and an eye-popping 7 interceptions last year. Henderson was also used on offense where he ran for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael has an eye for the ball, and one mistake thrown in his direction will most likely lead to a turnover. Wiley's defense is expected to shine behind linebacker Brady Dalton. The first-team All-District selection finished 2022 with 81 tackles, 10 sacks, and 18 tackles for loss. He knows how to track down the ball carrier and take him to the turf. If you see him blitzing, there is only one word to yell to your quarterback: duck. Dalton is also a star outfielder for the Pirate baseball team. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
Switch to Cricket and get 4 lines for $25 each per month, plus unlimited nationwide 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Our Ward Fasol cut up to Wiley head coach Jimmy Carter to talk about his Pirates and the rest of 9-6A in our Media Day segment.
All right, it is Media Day. We're talking 9-6A with Wiley head coach Jimmy Carter. Coach, this district, so many teams in it, and it's very, especially this year. Last year, Wiley East came up out of nowhere and took the district title. This year, I feel like it's wide open, and which means all you got to do is string some wins together here, and all of a sudden you're right there where you need to be. Is that the way you kind of look at this district? It's wide open, anybody can get it?
Yeah, I mean, it's Wiley East coming in last year, they did a great job over there, Coach Gold and his staff, and had a great run. And to me, I think they may be the front runner again. I think they may be a little bit ahead of the pack with some of the returners that they have. But I think after that, I think it's it's anybody's game. Whoever kind of can get hot, like you said, and string a few victories together.
Talk about how the defense may be your strength in this season.
Being an old defensive coordinator, you kind of pride yourself in being a defensive football team. The old cliche. Offenses win games, defenses win championships. And so not that we stack up our defensive side of the ball, but, we have kids that want to play defense for us. Brady Dalton is a prime example of that. He's a very highly recruited baseball prospect also, but he loves playing football too. And so, being able to use his athletic ability and his speed, in coverages and blitzing and just, playing the field. Cam Draper came on last year and kind of anchored the middle of our defense. The philosophy of our defense is, he needs to be able to draw some double teams to let the linebackers make plays, and that's what he does. And when you don't double team him, then he's going to make the tackle. So, those two coming back are, the veterans. We also have Austin Fabian at inside linebacker, who's a 3-year starter for us. I mean, he pretty much can just call the defense, just from being repetition, over the 3 years that he's been playing.
Well, it should be a great season. We're getting started up here in a couple weeks. I appreciate you joining with me, Coach Carter, and we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate you having me. Almost.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That's going to do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we discuss District 10-6A. Until then, have a great week, everybody.